I don't know what world you're living in, but let me tell you, I am so tired of this constant let's find something wrong with every game that comes out. Let's talk about resolution. Let's talk about frame rate. Before we even take a bite of the sandwich, it's shit. I'm tired of it. It's either a 24-year-old professional reviewer who has absolutely no history in this industry whatsoever and shouldn't be telling anybody what they're supposed to like, or it's these 40 to 50-year-old men with electron microscopes digging into the minutia of a game, finding something wrong with it. There has to be something wrong with it, and we got to find it, and we'll find it, and we'll tell you about it, and then we'll compare it and contrast it to these other systems so that you like this video, so that you hit the like button, that you subscribe, that we drive this ridiculous emotion around toys, people. These are toys. You're supposed to play with them. You're supposed to play with the toy. You're not supposed to open it up and figure out if it's real cotton inside or if it's just this shitty stuffing. Just enjoy it. Try it. See if you like it. This game is not bad. This is not a bad game at all. In fact, it's a very good game, and it keeps getting better and better. And that's what's frightening about it, because we're at this point now where something that is good can be just panned universally because of just this snowball effect of this person said this, and this person said this, and this site said this, so I'm going to say this, and then I can get a hit, then I can get a like, then I can get a sub, then I can get some money. It doesn't make sense to me. Play something for yourself and then decide. Does the game look bad? Absolutely not. This is a very good looking game, period. Flat out. Anybody telling you anything else is a liar. Is it a bad playing game? Absolutely not. If you like Arkham, those games, this plays just like them. And the major critique that I'm seeing from people is the gameplay. Well, the gameplay isn't good. The gameplay isn't good. People, you could literally hold the B button and block every attack and just stand there as Batman in the Arkham game. 50 people fighting you. Hold the B button. Whatever attack they threw your way, you blocked. This system is based on movement. So instead of blocking, you shimmy out of the way. You use the agility of each hero and you keep that momentum going. That's what's fun about it. It's about motion. It's a cool, creative system. Is it a perfect game? No, but it is not a 4 out of 10. This is a solid 8 out of 10 game, and it's only going to get better. But you say, worry, it doesn't even look as good as the Arkham games. Again, the Arkham games were not open world. They were semi-open with smaller areas to explore. This is a much larger open world game, and it has to allow for 2-player co-op and 4-player co-op. 2-player untethered, which means you and your friend can go anywhere in the world at opposite ends of the map. 4-player tethered, which means you have to stay within proximity of each other. That was not offered in the other games. So right off the bat, of course, they're probably going to make some concessions to do that. And it's also rooted in last gen. We're still pushing last gen tech. So when you factor that in, those critiques don't hold water. They just don't. The next critique that I'm seeing is the fact that, well, it's just repetitive. It's all the same mission over and over and over again. Wrong. What you're going to get is an open world with minor things happening that you can choose to go to whenever you want, gliding around, having that sort of hero fantasy, going crazy, enjoying yourself. And when you want to, you can trigger the single player story missions in whatever manner you want. You can go off and do the Court of Owls like I was talking about, and then you trigger something else where you have a penguin mission, and there's a bunch of different stories for each of those characters. As I'm doing that, I'm uncovering some things in the open world about Clayface, and that's forming a story for me to play whenever I want. And if I don't want to, I can just play around as a hero in the open world, doing those repetitive things that don't add up to the entire entire game. I'm also seeing people say, well, I watched them when they were all together in the gym talking to each other for 15 seconds, so that means that the game sucks. Once again, social media is not helping you at all. It's driving you to help someone get ad revenue for telling you something to drive you nuts, driving emotion, driving negativity. This is not a bad game. It does not deserve the critiques that it's getting, and it's getting critiques from people who honestly don't know what they're talking about, and for some odd reason forget the idea that comparing one game to another game isn't always accurate, because they could be two different games within the same world. They can be a linear story-driven game or a much more open world story-driven game in the same universe. It doesn't mean that if one was a 9 out of 10, the other has to be a 9 out of 10, and it doesn't mean that they both have to suck. Now, I also get that games cost money, and you might want to get the opinion of your favorite YouTuber who happens to be pro Xbox or pro PlayStation or pro whatever, why you'd want to go somewhere and listen to somebody that's going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. I'll never understand, but you might want to get that opinion because games cost money, and I get it, and $60 or $70 might be a big spend. Okay, but you cannot formulate an opinion on anything listening to people that you don't know, that don't know you. How does that make sense? If you like superhero games, if you like Spider-Man, you're going to like this game. By the way, Spider-Man, the city was much more alive. There were many more people walking around. What could you do with those people in the game? Maybe if you're lucky, a few of them would say, hey, Spider-Man, and a little triangle would appear above their heads. You press the triangle button and they take a picture with Spider-Man. Other than that, it was basic, repetitive, open world events happening in addition to those really cool, well-written, story-driven missions that you could tackle anytime you wanted to. Most of the time, I played around as Spider-Man doing those things, just swinging around, having a great time, and then I progressed the story. That's exactly what's happening here. This is not a bad game. This is not a bad looking game, and this is not a bad playing game. In addition to the tons of content that you're going to unlock, you literally unlock Bruce Wayne narrating Batman Year One diary audio logs, him talking to himself about the events leading up to Batman, the creation of Batman, his first few times out. There's tons of information here for each character. There are tons of different suits to unlock, and they're so cool when you unlock them, and you can mix and match, and you can modify different weapons. It is so deep and so involved. I think that if you're a fan of any of the things I'm talking about, or superhero games in general, this is something you have to buy and play yourself and get into. It takes at least a few hours to get into it. Yes, there are some things that shouldn't be locked off right away, like your hero abilities, but it doesn't take long to unlock them. And then you're doing all of these cool things in an open world, in addition to really great stories and characters. I think that if you get away from the noise surrounding this game and you try it, most of the people I've seen trying this game are just really surprised at how fun and how really good it is. They're just shocked because of all of the noise centered around social media and gaming and influencers and just people who wear asses as hats. I'm tired of it. If you are, let me know in the comment section below. Great game. I recommend it to superhero fans, comic book fans, Spider-Man fans, Spider-Man the game fans. You'll love this game. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.